guys, welcome to Knoxbox. I am... Wait, I know this one. I am Knock himself. Sorry. With me tonight is Cordial Rob.
Good almost morning. This is a bit of a late one.
Yes, it is currently 20 to midnight, and we totally haven't got a copy of the Horus Heresy Prospero Burns. It's like burning a Prospero. And we have a copy of it. And so we thought
Space Wolves.
we would open it up, let you guys see what it is, and then upload a video. So, first off...
The box.
Okay, sorry. First off, this is not their first foray into plastic 30k heresy.
This is their second, where previously Forge World had the whole monopoly, as it were,
On
of
30k.
You know, 30k, all the different marks of Marines, the additional bits and pieces. They are now doing more multi-part plastic kits. This is the second wave, as it were, of this. This is quite a wave.
It is. Well, beforehand, let's do a little bit of backstory.
Right.
So 30k Forge World only kind of IP.
Yep.
Or for the game at least. The figures were exceptionally expensive, but the game
nice.
is exceptionally good. It's
very
balanced because basically everyone has the same army lists. There's very few specialist units. Most army lists can take anything anyone else can. And that means
allies.
it's inherently balanced. And that's really good. But the barrier to entry is the price, where you're looking at maybe the best part of 50 quid for a unit when you bought the upgrades, the right shoulder pads, the special weapons, the options.
That's 50 quid for the base unit,
Oh, yeah.
and then you spend the rest on upgrades.
Crazy. So, Credit Calth came out with Mark 4, I think, Mark 5, armour
The
and...
important bit, it had a Contemptor Dreadnought in plastic.
A plastic contender.
Plastic!
So-
With arms.
We thought that's probably the best box set they're ever going to do.
For 30k.
And then they came out with this. I thought, okay, it's going to be the same as the last one, the same kind of figures, just new tiles, new story. No. My
Right.
God.
Okay, so starting with the front of the box, you have then some of their new artwork.
Yes, and you have Geiger Counter, the left-handed, and
You have
Araman.
You have Araman. Araman is the important one. The other one's just, going to die eventually.
It's Geiger Counter, the left-handed. He is perhaps the most important space dog there's ever been.
You don't have important space dogs.
No, you don't. They're useless. I'm sorry. I'm biased.
Awfully. I'm a Chaos player. He's a Tyrannid.
I'm currently Gene Cold, but I am Nurgle in the heart. Look at me. I am Nurgle embodied.
Getting back to this. So, what do you think this contains? As a box set, previously, you'd be quite happy if it was half plastic, half cardboard.
Well, it's a £95 box set, so therefore we know.
I can see a lot of things that are roughly
No,
in
no,
that
they're not. I've told my wife each one is £10. It's a £95 box set, and it contains 30k. So inherently, we know that's going to be 2 squads and maybe some cardboard counters. No, this has a whopping 30 Mark 3 tactical squads in it. Now,
With
Mark 3,
upgrades.
that's the siege armour. That looks amazing.
This is the preferred armour for all Chaos people because it had nice heavy armour on the front. So when you were running forward to rip out some loyalist dog's throat, they could shoot you and you would ignore them.
And it had thinner armour in the back,
Because
so
you're-
you could stab your commander in the back.
Also, the people behind you shouldn't be,
Behind you.
acting as meat shields.
That's true. So, it should contain basically nothing. And also, it's a £95 GW box set, so therefore, there will be 2-part models, which you plug fit together, in mono pose, with awful mould lines. No, they've got a lot better. I'm harking back to the days of Assault on Black. Some of the bad ones. They have got a lot better, and some of the models are amazing now.
The Orcs were usable. The Marines, not so much. Well, the thing from the artwork is, I can see exotic things.
Yes, well...
Not just Legion Marines and Terminators
Tartarus.
and characters.
Yeah, 2 characters. Guy
You can
Gorkamp,
see
the left-handed.
a selection of rather finely dressed people on the bottom left of the box.
Custodes.
And Sisters of Silence.
Now they have tied these in so well. So anyone that's does a lot of reading for Warhammer knows they've been doing the Beast Arises. The Beast Arises is getting towards the end now. No spoilers. But
Come on, the beast.
on orcs. But no doubt the orcs will lose. But
They
in
never
them,
lose. We'll be back.
in order to fight the orcs, they've actually just gone back and found the Sisters of Silence. So
They should have
this
stood
ties
them
in to their kind of 35k book series they've been doing for a whole year,
Yeah.
with excellent timing. The other half is the Custodes. Feature very heavily in the first of the books in the new collectible Warhammer 2-weekly book deal. You get this magazine with, this is a really nice hardback series of books, makes a nice big picture, about 3,000 issues at £25 each. Or, £10 each and about 80 issues.
Yeah.
But they feature really heavily in that first book, which is the book that everyone will have got because it was that 99p specialist starter price. And it came in there. So the tie-in is amazing.
Historically, the Custodes and the Sisters of Silence are the really nasty people you get hold of if you need to smack someone else down.
Yes.
They are very hard.
Yes, because
Anyway.
the Sisters of Silence kill. They just absolutely kill
They are
any
psychic
kind of
pariahs.
psychers. In fact, I believe in their 40k rules, they can cause, one of their attacks causes the opponent to take Perils of the Warp immediately.
They're like Eversaw
Amazing.
assassins.
Yeah, sort of, except they completely null it. They just stop the warp happening.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Right, so let us begin.
Ha! That is... I'm just going to get that out of the way, because there's not
Right.
really enough room on here for everything.
Okay, let's
Can I just... What? Okay, so...
start with the box.
Well, no, beforehand.
It feels quite heavy.
I look at it, and I just get flashbacks to the Dungeon Saga. Not Dungeon Saga.
Kings of War,
Kings of War,
Mantic.
Mantic. Oh god,
Army's
it's down
over there.
It's in a box, and it will never see the light of day because those
Sees
figures
the
are
light
so
day when I
bad.
forget what's in the box.
When you open a Mantic Kickstarter box,
You get plastic
you
fatigue.
just look at it, and it's just great.
You know when you think, I'll buy a new Tyranid army, and I want the, or the Guardsman army.
Yes.
And you go, Guardsman sprue, Guardsman
Guardsman
sprue. Oh, God.
But at least you have pictures of it.
Yes.
Now this, I see that and I get flashbacks. There's a lot of plastic in there. And then, I pick up one of the sprues. This sprue is the Mark III Marines, Tactical Marines, and there are loads on here.
So that is legs, backpacks in both parts, arms.
They've got all the options.
Yes,
There's
they have.
power fists,
Power fists,
all the
lightning,
different weapons you
claw,
can have. Melter, plasma,
pistol,
pistols.
bolt pistol, Calvinade.
Yeah,
Is that-
something like that. No, that's just a melter.
Is it?
Melter, plasma pistol.
Okay, and then you've got power sword, chain swords. You've got your
Lightning
extra thing for your
Yeah, the
legion.
centre of the leader. So,
Legion. I think you're going to have to get the camera
That's
a
a
bit closer.
yeah, I'll get the camera closer.
Okay, so now we've changed angle. Multi-kit 30k. So let's start with here. So you have Thunderhammers, Heavy Bolters, a selection of chainswords, your Power Fist, your icon for whoever's going to be, getting shot quickly, Lightning Claws,
All the
Power Sword, all your gun options. So here are your legs, your arms, and your backpack.
And they have all the same detail you'd expect on the Forge World ones. Where are the torsos? I want to say they got the bits that hang down over the vital
yes,
genitalia
here
area.
is one of the smaller sprues.
See it? They've got them all on there
They are a
again.
lot thicker and easier to handle than the Forge ones.
Yes.
The Forge ones were a little fragile, what I found. And what I like is the rivet details on the shoulder pads, because that'll be very easy to stick transfers, or if you want to do freehand
And
work.
shoulder pads that don't have lots of space dog markings on them.
They have
which means we
no
can use them for
markings
anything.
on any of these.
So that when I want to put these in my Dusk Raiders army,
Yep.
nice.
Or your, veteran squad for any space Marine
absolutely.
army, or things like that. Or if you mix and match for Chaos armies, which I'll probably be doing. What I like is here's all your helmets, and they're all slightly different.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah, you've got your
But that's nice.
Phobos pattern bolt gun. So there's
So there's
a Marine.
squad of... yes.
Right, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, more. Wow.
More.
There can't be 3 of those with all the options.
More.
Really?
More.
So that is what? Forge World. If you had bought those in Forge World,
Let's say £50 a squad minimum.
cheaply, so that's £150.
That's £150, and you wouldn't get all the options.
So then why is there
Because
still stuff in the box?
Right, okay. So if I quickly show you that is your, if you do them as 1,000 Suns, that is
Your 10-man squad.
your 10-man squad times 3. Let's spin around the box, and then we have Tartarus pattern.
Ooh. Now, are these going to be monoposed with one of each weapon type?
Similar to how they did the Gene Stealer.
Yes.
Blood Angels.
Yes, the GC Blood Angel
Blood
set.
Angels. No. So there is one sprue. With
Okay, so you
5.
got one sword. Wait a sec, how many power fists?
You have full company of power claws. You have the full set of power fists. Full set of properly combi bolters at this time period. You have your Reaper autocannon, your heavy flamer. You then have other upgrades from plasma pistols, plasma cavalcade, chain fist upgrades. I will be, gunning for those. You then have additional shoulder pads. And if you look at the front, because things like that with the extra bolts, that's more akin to Heresy armor, because they had to reuse the armor, so they had to use plasteel bolts to use older armor, bolt it together, so you could keep having enough armor on the field. It's quite an odd one, but you'll see it occasionally.
So you get all the options.
So all the options, so there's your Reaper
And all with the details.
all your details, front, backs, all your legs.
And all no Legion specific markings. Use them for anything you want.
Yeah, but then again, squad of Terminators, £35?
New, I think they're 28.
Okay. Forge World?
Yeah, 58, 68,
Right,
80,
okay.
3,000.
We then have the exotics. Let's start with the Sisters of Silence. Now, previously, in the art books, many, many years ago, for the trading card game, the Sisters of Silence looked very Dark Elderish. But that's because they dealt a lot with the webway, with keeping things from coming out of it, because in the old stories, there is a webway portal behind the Emperor's throne. And Malquador the Signalite, who created the Grey Knights, final job was to keep it sealed while the Emperor went and beat 10 battles at Horus and then came and sat back down again. So, these look very Dark Eldritch.
I was going to say that's a Dark Elder head, isn't it?
They are very, very similar to them. But the thing is, look at the detail on the fur.
Oh, wow.
Previously, on things like the Frisian Wolves, it's been very triangular and it looks very CAD designed. Whereas this is CAD, but you can imagine that, once you've done your base coat, your dry brush, your inking, another dry brush, maybe a bit of feathering, you can imagine that as fur. And then you've got nice things like the additional detail of the Aquillas and brocade and stuff. So looking at the armour, if they are going to do plastic Sister Battle, I'm expecting them to be a slightly bulkier version of this. If they can get to this level of detail, because look at the shoulder pads, because you have 3 different actually sorts of units here. You have ones with great swords, ones with flamers, and one with bolt guns, because these are usually designated for hunting down witches and other psychic things. So when Horus, while he was pretending to be good, told Leonidas to go and tell off those nasty 1,000 Suns for being extra naughty and ignoring the Emperor's rules, he got, the people who were very good at hunting down psychers and posted them across.
Although it does look to me, as it looks to me, like the person that has sculpted the Dark Elder has created a love child of that with the person that sculpted the Dark Elf Executioners.
I could imagine these with crossbows.
Yes.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but if I spin around here so you can see the paint job...
Oh wow, they look different when they're painted, don't they?
They look very differently painted, because it's the armour's very, very nice. But you can see that elven sort of thing.
You can, yeah.
You can imagine either as the, some of the different sort of dragon knights or stuff like that. You can see how that ties in quite oddly. If you've also noticed, we have the Custodes, which we'll look at shortly. if you like
They look
over decoration,
fantastic.
these are what you're going to want to look at if you're going to do a painting competition. I expect to see these at some point, Golden Demon standard. So look, let's start with the shields. If you're going to be...
That detail's amazing.
The detail and the crispness.
Yes.
Because on some of the previous ones, they haven't had that level of crispness. But things like the undercuts. So my personal favourite, and this is going to sound a bit of an odd one, is the hands on here. If anyone has experienced riding a motorcycle like me, he has got his hands like he's got on a throttle, so he can quickly blip the bolt gun that's on his glaive whilst fighting it.
That's
so while he's
really
swinging,
cool.
He can then turn around, blip it, and then hack down the next person.
Is blip the technical term for accelerate?
It's not quite. Let's go with yes.
Blip it.
But you can see the extra detail on the swirls, and then the detail on the eagle's head, and then on the wing.
They do look gorgeous.
So you've got the shoulder pads
Those
here.
back pads. Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
They look like something out of like an Empire Great Captain kind of shoulder pads.
Yes,
It's got so much detail.
Exceptionally detailed, and then you've got even on the smaller bits, like the combat knives on the side, have got very heavy detail, and this is going to really tell the difference between the men and the boys, because for the couple of basic techniques, they're going to look good. With the full range of techniques, feathering, inking, weathering, all that layering, they will look exceptional. So I'm looking forward to the next set of painting competitions where these are allowed to enter, because I think these will look excellent.
Fantastic. So that has to be everything, right?
Nope.
Really?
Well, you've got your favourite bit.
Bag of bases! Yay!
Never
32s! Hooray!
Right, okay, let's start with the filthy dogs.
Oh, Geiger counter the left-handed.
Where's his Geiger
I've
counter?
almost forgotten his name.
It's Geiger counter the left-handed. I'm telling you.
Geiger
It's Geiger Fellhand.
Fellhand. It's not Bjorn. I keep thinking it should be Bjorn, but it's not. However, these two models are going to be the only models that have Legion-specific information or, stuff on them.
He has very odd lightning claws.
He has what looks like would be is it the ice
detail on it very
ice
odd.
Well, you've got the detail along the fingers, which is really, really nice.
Okay.
The thing is with all these models now is for a base coat it's going to have to be quite light, because if you put a heavy base coat on, you're going to start losing detail quite quickly on some of these things. So if you look, as we're saying, on the claw, you can see, little markings all up and down the claw. If you do a heavy base coat, you're going to miss some of these things, which would be a great shame.
Where's his Geiger counter?
Probably on his belt.
Okay.
So it's got hidden behind his loincloth.
Does that
make you feel better?
As long as he has a Geiger counter, I'm happy.
Right, now here's the important one. Araman.
Sorry,
Caster
who?
of the rubric.
Who?
I hate you, shut up.
What? Is he so important?
He's still alive.
No, he's not.
He's dead. He's instantly better. He is an absolute nut job.
Wait, did you just spoiler the game for us? Geiger dies, and Abu Man survives.
I think probably...
Also, it's Abu Man, you've got to correct me.
It'll be fine. Fellhand, I don't know, because I'm not sure where Bjorn comes in this, because he's also Bjorn the Fell-handed. So it might be something to do with that, because he was another one who was at the burning of Prospero. Now, the thing we looked at earlier on when we were confused looking at through someone else's box is you see that little dip there. That corresponds to the back of his helmet.
Ah, so it fits flush in there.
It fits flush in there.
Look at the pearls on the. Are they rosaries or something?
Yeah, it'll be rosaries. But you've then got all the additional little bits of stuff on the boots, and then
What's on the base? Sorry. He's got a dead marine on the base.
He's got a dead marine on the base.
That's a really nice dead marine.
It is.
That's going to look really good on something else. Has it got anything to stop it being used on any other? No, it isn't.
Not that I can see.
Flat on the back. Oh, that's a useful piece.
It is. I'll be interested to see, because just look at the detail on there. All the scarabs and the glyphs and the runes and stuff. I am very, very impressed with this box so far.
So why has he got Necron markings on him?
I hate you so much.
That's a scarab, that's a Necron, isn't it?
No, they just use scarabs to use scarabs. And they're not scarabs either. Anyway, so that is all the models.
That's a
In
part
there.
of models.
Well, you've got 30 Marines, you've got 5
Tartarus.
Sisters, 5 Tartarus, 5 Custodes, 2 individual models. If you had to buy this from Forge World, you know, kidney.
400, 300?
If you had to buy it just GW standard,
What, 200?
100?
Yeah, it's 100 for the box. Anyway, should we do paperwork?
Well, let's go. Dice. You
Oh.
have several different sizes of dice.
No, that's not right.
Yeah,
I think they've made a mistake here, mate. We've got some dirty role-playing game dice in here.
you have. We'll explain those
And we're
in a
back!
second. Again,
By the magic of sorcery and heresy and witchcraft.
And him getting up and walking around. Right, so I can tell you're quite enamoured with the sheer amount of plastic on offer.
I am.
And it's all multi-pose, most of it, which is
Didn't think I'd say
very,
this.
very impressive.
I like Geiger counter the left-handed. I didn't think I would see a dirty space dog, but
He's a very characterful one, though.
it's not really good.
Yeah.
And it's... I really like the weird blades on his lightning claws. Yeah, okay, I could have fun painting that one.
Well, I can show you a picture of the weird blades on his lightning claw.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's like a frost blade looking that colour.
Yeah, so that is his lightning claw.
That is
as
Geiger
envisaged.
counter the left-handed.
So that is the Legions at War. This is one of the books you get in here.
It's just the art one.
This is the art
Yeah.
one, where it shows you all the different colorations.
It's like a
people
really good
involved.
body glossy mag. It's like when you go to one of the really top-end estate
Tartarus.
agents and they've got these printed magazines. They're really nice.
And then you've got all the Forge World and additional information for the Horus Heresy in the back.
yes, they have included advertising, but at least it's actually tactful and nice and relevant advertising. It's not just, look, we make starter sets. It's actually, we do some really good top-end
All the stuff
Horus Heresy
that-
stuff.
Goes this. And
Very
then
cool.
we have the rules. Now, I'm never going to play this game. I'm going to run off giggling into distance with the models.
Yes.
Some people are actually going to play this game, at which point we have something else which I haven't actually known them do before.
This game, from my understanding, it works a little bit like Loka. Oh, what are they?
These are cheat sheets.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Right. You do not usually
Good.
get these nowadays.
So much easier with them.
You get a cheat sheet for whoever is being who. You get Space Wolves.
Yay, I get the dirty ones.
I get the Thousand Suns. Woo.
Oh, they spelled Geiger counter the left-handed wrong on here.
I wonder why.
They put
Right.
Bellhand.
Okay.
What name's that?
So, this is
Oh.
why you have so many dice.
You made the mistake, I've got the Custodes. I'm going to win, I've got Custodes.
No, if I kill you first.
You can't kill Custodes. They
You
have
can
like
kill
2-up, 3-ups.
anything. Anyway, back to being serious.
Why does it say D10?
In your little sack of many things, i.e. your dice bag, you have got D10s, D8s, D12s, D6s, and these correspond to using the profiles on the cheat sheets.
Okay.
So, on here, let's say Lightning Claws is a D8 in combat, a Combi Bolter is a D8 in combat, and then you've got all other different ranges as well and different weapons. From D12s for, you know, characters hitting people, to D6s where it's the poor old Space Marine in generic armour, number 16 has a D6 for his bolt gun, and he's expected to probably die in his droves.
Okay, so the way damage works in this is just like Loka.
Oh, do you have a pool?
Yes, basically, you work out your attack dice, and everyone starts with a D6 or D6s, and then certain figures and certain upgrades with different weapons and armor upgrade you to D8, upgrade a D6 to a D8 to D10, D12.
Yeah.
And so you create your attack pool of those dice, a mixture of them all.
Yeah.
Depending on what you have. You then make the opponent's armor pool.
Yeah.
Or defense pool, which would then be 1d6 for every dice you have. So if
Yeah.
you have 6 dice, if they're d12s, they get 66s, which
Yeah.
are then upgraded through their same way.
Yep.
You roll both pools off, and then you compare the two highest, compare the two next highest, to work out how many go
So,
through.
actually, in theory, even if you had a massive hand of D12, you could completely fluff your roll.
Yeah.
And the other team go, cool. And you're dead, you're dead,
You
you're
can roll a 1 on any of them.
dead. Oh, most certainly.
Okay, well, yeah, to be honest, I thought Loka was a really good game. I thought it was a good way of showing different powers, having different higher possible attacks, but actually still be able to get the ones.
There's always a chance you can fluff it.
Oh, that seems fairly simple. I tell you what, the pictures in here are excellent.
Show the camera the pictures. The pictures are very well laid out in full colour, and you can easily see what's going on.
I'm trying to tell if they're actually photographs or not. I don't think they are. Looking at it, it looks like they've like kind of
I think they're
taken top-down photos of the figures and then put them over the top.
Yeah.
But either way, it's really good. Are these? What quality are the bases? The bases look really good in this.
We'll get to the bases shortly. We then have your construction booklet. This is actually usually we roll our eyes about this, but because of all the construction options and all the different variations.
Oh, you actually have all the different options on there.
All the different options. So all your 10
the
heads. So
that's good.
Here was what I was saying. So Witch Seeker, Vigilator, and Persecutor.
This is
for your Sisters of Silence. Then you've got your the Tartarus Pan.
All the options in the world.
All the options in the world. So
and everything's numbered on the sprues, so no finding pieces, nice and easy.
Right, here's the damp squib.
They're the transfers?
That's the transfers.
It's a small transfer sheet.
Well, this annoys me a bit because you've got so many nice stuff in here. You could have done a bigger transfer sheet with a few more options because they're not particularly expensive to make.
Also, the Thousand Suns only have white transfers.
Which is a shame because if you're doing them in the post-heresy...
like pearlescent colours.
Pearlescent or the blues, the silvers, anything of the Shining Tower.
White just won't show on it properly.
You're going to want a selection of colours.
Yeah.
The wolves is not a problem, but then
as long as
even
you
then...
want red wolves.
Which is fine unless you've got different packs because then it's...
You probably can't see them because they're white or... well, the red ones will be obvious. But the other ones are just white. And
Which is a bit of a shame.
Yes. On the plus side, they have markings though. So you've got the dedicated transfers for the shoulder pads. It tells you which are for which squads and which are for the sergeants. And then it has a marking section, which presumably you can put on the capes, the pauldrons, wherever you want. That's just kind of odd extra markings. Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, it would be nice to see them. All the rest of their kits normally have white ones and black ones.
Yeah. So maybe...
Is there a second one in there?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, so 2 spare plastic bags of holding.
So that means there'll be counters somewhere. Bag of cards.
Bag of cards. Right. Ha ha. I get a psychic phase.
That away. I think...
enumeration phase?
Yes, enumeration. I did have a quick flick through the rulebook earlier. And in the enumeration phase, you have you have 2 different decks of cards each. So you both have your psychic powers as such.
So you get a thick one and a thin one.
And then the Chaos guys, the traitors, get the warp energy cards to bulk it out. And the loyalists get the willpower cards to stop them.
Those one.
So that's cool. I don't know how that works yet, but I'm sure it'll be simple.
As a Thousand Sun, I'm expecting to be able to cast several of these a turn at you, and hopefully you're all going to fall over and die.
3 a turn, I heard, and I think it's the player that casts them, not the characters, which is odd.
Really?
Yeah, we'll have to have a look.
Whereas some of these will obviously probably stop.
They're mostly defences to stop you.
Defense will. The one thing I am a little annoyed about is you can see where the plastic screws are being because it scratched some of the cards, which is...
How are the cards? Are they fairly thick, or are they...
No, they're a bit thin.
They're barely playing card thickness.
The issue I have with these is they're bigger than standard.
Oh yeah, you can't
sleeves,
get sleeves for those,
which is annoying.
No.
And they are a lot less quality than say Pokemon or Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh yeah. But they're not a card making manufacturer really,
No.
so...
Well, in that case, surely the boards aren't going to be that
yeah, they're going to be a bit
either.
lackluster. Although I've just seen there's 6 scenarios in here, so there is a few scenarios. And looking at it, you set the boards a bit like Space Hulk, so you actually use the same boards in different ways. So knowing the White Dwarfs... Whoa. Knowing White Dwarf, they'll probably release a couple of special missions.
Fantasy Flight style. Embossed.
Are they embossed?
They are
Can we open
them? If you're happy with me opening them.
You open away. We're only going to build this, play it, paint it. At the end of the day, I'm not sure you'll be able to leave without taking some of the Arrow Man with you. I'm going to give you 1 piece for each video we film. You'll be done in...
In that case, we better film very quickly. It's probably not a huge amount of
I've lost
is it? Oh, in that case, it could be
6.
quite well.
6
videos. Right, okay.
Ooh!
Embossed.
Ooh,
It is
they're all embossed.
Right, okay.
That's nice.
Ooh, okay.
They're
and
thick.
some of them... Right, okay. So
So they've got an outer shell which they're popped out from.
Yeah.
And there's two together which make one big board.
Yeah.
Or
so
separate
you can,
ones.
Ooh, look at that one.
These are really nice.
And they're
These are really
decent,
thick.
good quality stock.
Yeah, that is really good. That's got to be, what, 4 mil?
Yeah.
Maybe 5. Yeah, that's a really good stock, actually. Wow.
So, all your different, inside the
they
different
look amazing.
temples, and then you can wear
It's
it
so
in box.
Egyptian-y. Oh, I love it. So I really like Egyptian kind of artworks and styles, and that is really cool. I know they're not Egyptian hieroglyphics, but they look similar
They're
enough that I can
Egyptian-esque,
lie to myself.
Just because of the... Now
Oh, I
that's-
want to love it,
that's pretty cool.
but
I like that.
the lava's a bit naff.
It's got an eye for a start.
The fact that the actual lava's embossed under it, though, is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So each of the individual shards of the broken step are above the lava. Okay, no, that I can't dislike that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that is as very striking. You can see the efforts of Zine starting to affect them.
For
which is
quality of
pretty cool.
tokens, it's not often I would say this, but GW, that's 11 out of 10. That is so far
They're
beyond.
double-sided tokens.
I know.
Double-sided tokens.
No one is going to buy this game thinking, I want a really good board game and tokens. You don't buy this amount of amazing plastic figures for the board game. But actually, that board game is really good as quality-wise.
Remind me the cost again.
£95? And that's only if you pay the actual full price from GW. If you go to an independent or, hopefully not an online seller, hopefully an independent, you'll pay, normally it's 10% off GW, that's a general kind of margin people can work with.
Yeah.
So actually, you're talking, just over 85 quid from most sellers to get, what's that, £60 worth of, £80 worth of,
If this was GW,
what are they called? I've forgotten the name now.
Custodes.
£100 of, Mark 3s.
Even if it was just a standard Space Marine squad,
Well,
you're
that'd be
looking at-
75, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't get all those options.
Nope.
The Terminators are 28 quid for a normal box, I think. And to get a box with how much extra was the Reaper Assault Cannon as an add-on for Forge World? Wasn't it like an £8
It
gun?
was £8.
For a gun?
Yeah.
They've just included it on here. You only get one of them, but to be fair, you can only have one. It is, I think it's only one.
need one.
Yeah. That's amazing. It barely fits in the box.
And I still need to find space for the blast. Anyway, that
Is a
is
box.
the Burden of Prospero by GW.
Good
If-
on them.
If this is number 2, I'm wondering if they're going to do a number 3.
Can't really top that.
I'm not sure. Because if they're doing this...
The only way they can top that is in number 3, you will have 2 plastic Primarchs.
That's taking it a bit far.
That's the only way.
I think that's taking it a bit far.
I'm telling you, that is the only thing they can do to stop it.
Because you've had the Smurfs, the
Yeah.
Word Bearers, the Thousand Suns, the Space Wolves. You've still got the Night Lords. You've still got the World Eaters,
We haven't had a Horus.
Salamanders,
There's no Horus.
Iron Hands.
I'm telling you, if their third game is literally Horus dying,
No, what they might have is a Baden the Despoiler because he needs a new model at some point.
no, he's got a Forge World. Isn't there a Baden Forge World?
Quite possibly.
Because he comes in, I think he fits for somebody else.
But I could imagine them as part of this. This is the new
Yeah.
Abaddon the Despoiler. Proper actual Terminator size.
I don't know. Horus would be amazing. Anyway, GW, well done.
Excellent.
I'm honestly impressed.
Until next time.
Night, guys.